Sometimes we don't clean things because they're dirty. We clean them because something inside us feels heavy. So this is the story of a man who washed his car one evening and realized hours later that he didn't even own a car anymore. He had been putting it off for weeks. Every time he walked past the car, he noticed the thin layer of dust sitting quietly on its surface. Not thick enough to be embarrassing, not bad enough to demand immediate attention, just enough to be ignored. And that's exactly what he did, ignored it. Because lately, ignoring small things had become a habit. Small worries, small thoughts, small feelings he didn't want to sit with. They all gathered, just like the dust, until one evening, after a long and tiring day, he stopped in front of the car and simply stared at it. He wasn't thinking about the dirt. He was thinking about how tired he felt inside. Not physically, but mentally, quietly exhausted. So he grabbed a bucket, a cloth, and water. Not because the car desperately needed cleaning, but because he needed something to do with his hands while his mind slowed down. As the water touched the surface, the dust began to run off in thin streams. He watched silently, almost hypnotized. There was something calming about seeing the surface reveal itself again, something satisfying about watching what had built up disappear. He covered the car in foam, and for a moment the entire vehicle turned white, hidden, undefined. He smiled, because that's how life often feels when you start fixing things, messy, unclear, carefully. And with every stroke, his thoughts became quieter. He wasn't thinking about tomorrow. He wasn't thinking about yesterday. He was just there, present. The mirrors became clear again. He could see his reflection properly now, and for the first time in days, he didn't rush away from it. He looked at himself, and he realized something strange. He hadn't really looked at himself in a long time, not like this, not without distraction. The final rinse washed away the foam, and the car began to shine softly under the fading light. It looked the same, but somehow it felt new. He stepped back and admired it. The clean surface, the reflections, the quiet glow. And for a moment, he felt proud, not because the car was clean, but because his mind felt lighter, like something inside him had been washed away too. He dried it carefully, paying attention to details he had ignored for months. The door handles, the edges, the glass, all the small places where dirt hides when you don't notice. And as he worked, he thought, maybe finished. He stood still and looked at the car one last time. Shiny, calm, restored. He felt the same way, restored. He packed everything away, turned off the water, and walked inside, satisfied, light, peaceful. And as he entered his room, he placed the car keys on. He walked outside quickly. The driveway was empty. No car. No water. No bucket. No foam. Nothing. Just dry concrete. He stood there for a long moment, staring at the empty space where the car should have been. And slowly, quietly, he understood. He had sold the car 3 months ago. He hadn't washed a car that evening. He had been cleaning something else, something that had been covered for far too long. His mind. And for the first time in months, it felt clear.